The way the U.S. has looked at immigration has had many ideological shifts, from the time of colonization to the influx of migrant workers during the agricultural boom in the 1950s. We as a country have looked at immigration through many different lenses. The first people to immigrate to the U.S. were the colonists that came following Christopher Columbus's mission to find India. The increase of migration gained momentum in the 1620s. The philosophy was echoed in the poem of the Statue of Liberty. It states, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." Over time, the U.S. became established as the land of opportunity. More and more people came in via Ellis Island. Ellis Island has become a historic landmark representing opportunity and hope for the melting pot that is the U.S. The policies around immigrants during this time were very flexible. Over time, laws have made immigrating to America more difficult. Some of these laws and policies include: in 1820, the Chinese Exclusion Act was passed, which banned Chinese immigrants from coming to America. The Immigration Act of 1924 further restricted immigration to prohibit population increase. Thus, the history of the U.S. is based on its immigrants.
Today, immigration affects the U.S. in many ways. 42.4 million, or 13.3% of Americans are immigrants, according to data from the American Community Survey, ACS. Immigrants help America greatly. The jobs immigrants work are usually harder, and they are often paid less and work more hours. They face struggles every day like racism and prejudice. America is a nation of immigrants built from immigrants. In 1997, the National Academy of Sciences concluded that immigration has delivered a net positive gain to the American economy. Immigrants have typically taken jobs that support U.S. infrastructure. Some might start businesses, and many create lower-costing labor.
Depending on how America pursues immigration, the population demographic of the U.S. will change. Through amnesty and acceptance of more immigrants, one would hope that tolerance will increase. However, if the U.S. moves more towards deportation and persecution, we could be looking at a more segregated country. What will happen to jobs and the economy if illegal immigrants are no longer allowed in? The supply of workers would shrink, and we could be looking at the increase in prices.
The human rights violation for new United States immigrants is prevalent in the U.S. Media portrays certain immigrants as threats to people. For most undocumented immigrants, fear and the stress that comes with it is a constant part of life. Adults and kids alike must keep their situation a secret from nearly everyone they meet, afraid they'll be reported and sent back. Employers might feel free to pay low wages and ignore dangerous working conditions because the workers have no legal way of complaining. Landlords can do this too, forcing people to live in terrible conditions because they have no way to complain or fight back. In conclusion, we 8th graders at Mandel are looking to raise awareness around these issues and asking our community to pledge to look for people at who they are and not where they come from.